What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Keto Rewind. I am Jess. Thank you for clicking on today's video. I have a week 252 update of my weight loss journey. It is day 67 of the 75 Soft Fitness Challenge, or the past, the 75-day challenge that I'm doing. So I'm in the home stretch. I'm in like week 9 of it, 9 in a couple days. So I have those two updates for you, and then the talking points of this video, which would be how I'm getting through that yo-yo effect when it comes to weight loss journeys. If you have been following me for a while, I yo-yoed even on this channel. I've yo-yoed my whole life. I have tried my best this year with a lot of work inside, and I found ways to navigate that vicious yo-yo cycle. So I wanted to share those with you. But before I get into all that, I want to remind you, this is my weight loss journey. This is my battle with obesity. This is what it looks like through my eyes and navigating my own adversity. Yours is going to look so different. I'm not claiming I'm an expert. I'm not a healthcare professional. I'm not a doctor. I am just sharing what my story is and what I'm doing, so that maybe you can be inspired. Maybe you can try these things. Maybe you can just, maybe something can click with you for it to help your journey. Battling obesity sucks. So my goal of this channel was to share as I uncover my own truths for you. So take that with a grain of salt. You do you at the end of the day. You know yourself best. So with that said, let's talk about today's video. And real quick before I get started, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Element. These are my absolute favorite electrolytes. I take these every single day. These are what helps me power through my workouts. These are what helps me get my water in so I can stay hydrated, which is one of my goals. These also help bridge the gaps between my hunger. These help me feel like full and energetic, and these have really been clutch. So I highly recommend these electrolytes, because Element electrolytes are a science-backed ratio of electrolytes. Each packet contains 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium, all with that delicious taste. Sugar-free, great for us that do keto or we don't want to have all that yucky sugar. Gluten-free, no artificial flavors, no fillers, no colors, no dyes, all of that jazz. They're just a delicious tasting electrolyte. So I'll put 1 packet of these electrolytes in my water, which, being that I'm on the 75 Soft Challenge, I'm drinking about 3 of these a day. I only need to drink 2.5, but I enjoy drinking water so much that it is easy to get 3 of these in. So my first one of the day contains a packet of those electrolytes. If you want them stronger, have less water with it. I like it a little bit more diluted so that when I'm drinking it, I can get this whole thing in right off the bat during my workouts. If you would like to give Element a try, you can get this free sample pack with any order, and you can get all of these flavors so that you can try them all. I personally love the raspberry, the watermelon, but my husband's a huge citrus fan. My kids like the orange. So there's chocolate in here that you could put in coffee. There's spicy ones, all the delicious flavors. So don't take my word for it. Use my special link that's only available for you guys, but you can use this link as many times as you want, and you can get your free sample pack with any orders. So go to drinkelement.com/keto rewind. That is www.drinklmnt.com/keto rewind. Thanks to Element for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to the rest of the show. So we'll do a couple of the numbers or metrics right off the bat. I'm on day 67 of the 75 Soft Challenge, and if you want to see more videos on that, I have an entire playlist. I'll put that there and also down in the description box. And you can see over the past 67 days what I've been doing. But I found that when the 75 days are up, which I think is December 19th for me, it has turned into my new norm. So there's going to be no end date, and that's going to be so cool. So for the challenge and the weight loss results and all that, I'll give that in the 75 days. But for me, it's not over after I hit 75 days. And that was ultimately the goal when I started the challenge. I wanted a new lifestyle. I was miserable. I was tired of the yo-yoing. I was tired of re-losing the same weight over again. I was tired of regaining weight. I didn't want that anymore, and I knew I needed to change to be able to change. So you can't put lipstick on a pig, right? If you want something different, you got to get after it to get something different. You know, those same results, the yo-yoing is no way to live, and it just wrecks your entire insides in your head mentally when you keep gaining and losing. And it's that roller coaster I didn't want to be on anymore. So I needed to actually do things that make change and change the way I was living so that I didn't need to do that anymore. So that's why I've been such a fan of the 75 Soft Challenge. It is something that you do every single day. It's manageable. It's something that's doable. It's not extreme. It's things you should be doing anyways. And it's easy to stick to. So I'm like, oh my gosh, it has been a game changer for me personally. And I'm so happy one of my besties was like, come do this with me. Because I would probably still be in that revolving door of yo-yoing. Or I would have said, oh, January 1st is coming around. I'll just calm it down and just try not to try not to gain weight this month. Whatever my previous excuses have been. Or no, I'm like, you know what? I don't care what it is. We're in this. And it doesn't matter if it's Christmas, we are doing it. You know, we're not waiting to a special day. There'll be no perfect time to start a journey. So why not just do it now, you know, and stop wasting any more time. So after I'm in week 9, I started this challenge at 255 pounds 67 days ago. And as of today, I'm 238. So that's a 17-pound loss, which for me, I haven't lost weight in so long and kept it off that this is a huge victory in itself. So, but long story short, I have 9 days left or so. So I'm going to try and I'm aiming for 20 pounds, aiming for it. So, but it's possible, it's doable. And, you know, it's something that has turned into the new me. So the fact that the challenge is going to end in a couple days doesn't mean I am. I'm forming these habits to make this the lifestyle that I sustain and not revert back to those old nasty habits. So I did also want to mention I'm renaming Keto Rewind. I didn't know you could just rename your own channel. So when I created Overactive Fork, my second channel, I thought that I didn't know you could just rename your original one, but the message that I wanted to get out was more about overcoming obesity and not really tying it to food, like tying it to the core problems, the message that I learned. And when I started the channel Keto Rewind, I was such a mess. I was just throwing all the darts on the wall and seeing what stuck. And keto was something I did find and discover that I loved, and it changed my life. But it's not everything about my journey. It's just one part. My main thing that I struggle with is the overactive fork, emotional eating, and how I'm overcoming that. So that encompasses more than just food. So it kind of I didn't know that at the time, because again, like I was just doing anything to keep myself accountable to get the weight off. So I'm approaching 5 years on YouTube, and I've learned a lot about that in the short time. So I didn't want to just tie everything to one specific thing, and it made more sense. So I will delete at that point Overactive Fork. I'll put those videos on here, and I'll just have the single channel. And it's the same people that are following me anyway, so I figured it won't be that big of a deal. But it did want you guys to see that, you know, Keto Rewind will turn into Overactive Fork To Fit, because that really encompasses what I'm doing. I'm going from 309 pounds to a healthy and fit, you know, 180. And that journey is what I want the channel to be defined about, not about one specific part of the journey. So I hope that makes sense. So with that said, let's go to part 3 of this video, and we'll talk about the message I wanted to get. And I briefly mentioned it when I started this video, but one thing that plagued me through this whole weight loss journey over the past 4.5, nearly 5 years is the yo-yo effect of a weight loss journey. You gain and lose the same amount of weight. You'll lose 10 just to regain 10, you know, or you lose 10 and you regain back 15, you know, like that kind of thing. So I just wanted to talk about what I'm doing to overcome that. And a lot of that stemmed from switching a focus away from the food of the channel, away from the actual food, and encompassing more of my day, meaning all of my day, not just what I'm eating. So that means mentally what I'm doing throughout the day, physically what I'm doing throughout the day, you know, and emotionally, and, you know, the eating part too, and I needed that challenge to kind of wake me up. And it's one thing that I was not doing from the start was I only focused when I started this channel, lose the weight, get it off as quick as I can, you know, and by all means necessary. And that means restrict, 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 and then overeat, overeat, overeat when I let up on the restriction. And that was just so much turmoil. But it kind of got me to where I am today. So I'm not mad. I'm sad that I lost 140 pounds to regain back half of it. Like I regained 70, you know, thus ballooning back up to 255. But it's something that was, it needed to happen. It was part of the process. And I'm not mad about that. If anything, I'm kind of relieved because it got me to this better place. So it's kind of that whole thing, you know, you throw a bunch of darts at the wall, you see what sticks, and that kind of gives you kind of like an insight on things you need to work on. And then you keep doing that to those new topics and you become this like inner detective. And for me, I needed to become a detective of Jess. Like I need to investigate Jess because only Jess has the answers to how I'm going to fix this. You know, what I like and what I don't like, what I want to do and what I don't want to do, what makes me mad and what makes me happy. Only I know those things. So it's like I have the blueprint inside all along. So at the beginning of this year, I made a vision board. I'll put it here on the screen. And it's interesting though, because everything on this board I'm doing. And I didn't even notice I was doing all these things. Because I look at this thing all the time. It's on the wall in my office. But I'm actually living it. And that is so cool. I am disciplined. Oh my God, am I disciplined? Especially in this last, 67 days. Like I have a routine now that I didn't have in January. I have a lifestyle that I'm actually doing and sticking to and enjoying and making that my end all be all. It's not just about a food or a certain, it's literally every day, my whole day. That's the lifestyle I'm living. It's healthy. It's not toxic. I'm doing the things that I need to do. I'm eating well. I'm having fun. I'm being disciplined. And that doesn't mean I am reverting back to old ways. Like that is what I do. I'm strong. I'm lifting every day in the gym. I had a personal record that I bench pressed 165 pounds last week, and it was easy. Like I could have done more, like I'm getting so strong and I crave those workouts. I'm getting better. It's possible. I'm setting my own worth. And if I know I'm worth it, I'm going to go after it and do it. So it's possible. We defined our own worth. Only you can define that. I'm eating all the protein. Like protein is it. It has been a game changer. I focus on protein. I don't stress about carbs and fats. I eat the protein because if you get the amount of protein you should be eating in a day, carbs and fats will fill in where they need to be. Because I'm so full by the time I'm finished with my protein, I don't have room for much more. So that I don't have to pick certain vegetables over the other. I can have what I want, as long as it's a vegetable, as long as it's a healthy fat, that kind of thing. My mindset has shifted big time. I believe in me. I believe I can do it. I've got the confidence and I've got the discipline inside to do it. And my favorite one is choosing your hard. It is so much harder to be fat. It is so much easier to care about yourself. You have to choose your hard. And would you rather struggle with everything that comes with obesity, feeling terrible, feeling tired, feeling sluggish, feeling, like hating your own skin and just in that vicious yo-yoing cycle? Or do you want to put your heart into fixing it and not having to do that anymore and living a completely different lifestyle that's more rewarding to you? But at the end of the day, it doesn't happen overnight, but if you don't try at all, it will never happen. So choose your hard, put the work in. It's not about time and speed. It's about just doing it, showing up, showing yourself that you care. And you can have anything you want as long as you're ready to put the work in. If you're not willing to put the work in to make the changes, you have to be okay with where you are today. And those things encompass the yo-yoing cycle, and if you don't make the changes don't change themselves, they don't just, you don't just wake up one morning and be in a nice, thin, trim, fit, lean, dream body. It doesn't work that way. But if you make the changes, you can stop that yo-yoing habit where you have made your new routine so that you don't go back to the old vicious revolving door of gaining and losing that same weight. And I guess the other thing is what's different now is I notice stuff that I didn't notice before. When something makes me feel icky, if something makes me mad, if something makes me happy, instead of just ignoring those feelings, I think about it like, okay, well, why did I like that? Like, what about that did I like? I start asking questions and I get answers that way. And it's like, I start thinking about that and I chew on that topic for a day. And then before I know it, I'm like, oh, okay. All right, I understand, but I had to ask the questions. I had to notice those signs initially, like, why am I so mad about that? And it's like, okay, let's think about it. What could have done different? What could I have done? How could I have reacted differently? I just dig and I dig and I dig. And eventually I start to have answers. And then that answer helps me answer the next question easier because I now know that question. And it becomes this little bit of detective work within myself. And then eventually, after you do that for like an entire year, you have answers. And you can stop that yo-yoing cycle. You can stop those old unhealthy habits and try to rewrite that into the new healthier you. And it comes down to so much work, but it is rewarding work. And that time's going to pass anyways. So why not dig deep? Why not figure it out? See a therapist, talk to a friend, do what you need to do to get it out and get it there so you can acknowledge it, you can accept it, and you can learn from it, and you can move on and break the cycle. Because I don't want to lose any weight anymore. I don't want that for you either. So that's why I'm sharing what's working for me. But ultimately, all of this is what has helped me. And at the end of the day, you know you best and you know what you can possibly do to get better. I can't do that for you. I can want it to the day, I can want it so badly for you, but unless you want it too, nothing will change. So I hope that all made sense. I am already dressed and ready to go, so it's time to go to the gym, to work off and burn off my crazy, to make me happy, to do those things that bring me joy. And I'll see you at the next one. Don't forget, you can use this link to get your free sample pack with any purchase. I am Jess. You're watching Keto Rewind. See you later.